children, today we are going to start a poem, Three Wise Old Women by Elizabeth T. Corbett. Let's quickly read about the author. Elizabeth T. Corbett is often called the popular poet of the late 1800s. Not much is known about Corbett except that she wrote mostly nonsense verse meant for children. Her most famous works are The Fairy of the Moonbeam, Rustic Rhymes and Ballads, and Three Wise Old Couples. Unlike the other authors, we do not have much information about the author over here. It's for Elizabeth T. Corbett. We just know that she used to write the nonsense verses which were meant for children because it makes them laugh. And some of the works done by her are The Fairy of the Moonbeam, The Rustic Rhymes and Ballads, and Three Wise Old Couples. Okay. So what is this poem about? I'll just tell you in brief. In this poem, the three wise women, they go out for a walk and then they end up having unexpected adventure. And this is a funny poem. So in order to enjoy it, you need to read it aloud. Okay. Before we start reading the poem, let us discuss few things about it. As I have told you that it is a funny poem and it is a nonsense verse. Okay. You might be thinking that it is a limerick, but let me tell you it's not a limerick because it does not follow the rhyme pattern of a limerick, that is A-A-B-B-A. So limerick has a rhyme pattern that is A-A-B-B-A, whereas this poem has a different kind of rhyme pattern, A-B-A-B-A-B. All right. So, and another thing is that it has 6 lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, whereas in a limerick we have 5 lines in a verse. So it is not a limerick. Okay. So here is another example of a funny verse to give you the feel of the funny verse. Okay. So let's read it. Here is a knock knock joke. This should make you laugh and get you ready to read the poem. Knock knock. Who's there? Normally, who? Normally, I would not knock at your door, but I need some sugar. So you see, the poet has created humor by creating misunderstanding between the listener and the speaker. So the poet creates humor in this way. Even if it is not a limerick, it might be a funny verse. All right, so let's start with the poem. Three Wise Old Women by Elizabeth T. Corbett. Three wise old women were they, who went to walk on a winter day. One carried a basket to hold some berries, one carried a ladder to climb for cherries. The third, and she was the wisest one, carried a fan to keep off the sun. But they went so far, and they went so fast, they quite forgot their way at last. So one of the wise women cried in a fright, "Suppose we should meet a bear tonight? Suppose he should eat me and me and me? What is to be done?" cried all the three. "Dear, dear," said one, "we'll climb a tree. There out of the way of the bears will be." But there wasn't a tree for miles around. They were too frightened to stay on the ground. So they climbed their ladder up to the top and sat there screaming, "We'll drop, we'll drop." But the wind was strong as the wind could be and blew their ladder right out to sea. So the three wise women were all afloat in a leaky ladder instead of a boat. And every time the waves rolled in, of course, the poor things were wet to the skin. Then they took their basket, the water to bail. They put up their fan instead of a sail. But what became of the wise women then? Whether they ever sailed home again? Whether they saw any bears or no? You must find out, for I don't know. So you could see that it's just a funny verse and it's written in a simple language for kids to understand, and there is nothing much to explain over here. I hope you could understand from whatever you read. If you have not, then please go through over and over again. I'm sure that you will be able to understand because it's written in a very simple language. So I hope you enjoyed this recitation and keep enjoying reciting it aloud. Bye.